So I'm glad I saved this video. We're gonna watch this video real fast though. You know what I mean? On Jim Jones speaking on Nas and that, bro. This was crazy, bro. It's like a couple weeks old. I'm pretty sure the whole thing died down by now because I've not heard anything about Jim Jones going crazy and he's just talking about Nas the way he was talking about Nas. Because a 20-year-old hyped him up to be better than Nas. Over 120-year-old
Well,
saying
you know,
that.
speaking of that,
Let's hear
recently
it.
Jim Jones said that he has a better catalog than Nas.
Oh,
That's
goodness
crazy, bro.
God.
And I like this man. This is Aries Spears is a comedian, right? And every time he comes on Vlad TV, anything you might have going on in the world, he will keep it all the way G real. He will not hold back on anything he has to say about the industry. And he speaks facts. I love the fact that he may say something controversial that you might not always agree with, but he will also say something that's real and that's common sense. That makes perfect sense. But he can say some shit that will piss you the fuck off and that you're not gonna agree with. But I say most times that I've watched these interviews of Vlad TV, I have agreed with him. He spoke some common sense, you know what I'm saying? And he be accurate with a lot of the things that he says. He be on point with it. So I like when he does these Vlad TV interviews, man. And he is a pretty funny comedian. You know, pretty funny comedian indeed, man. Aries Spears. So let's just hear what he has to say about this Jim Jones and Nas situation, bro. Like, Nas, bringing Nas into the conversation, bro, is crazy. It's crazy. Trying to say that you're better than Nas, bro. When I don't even remember you being that much of a hype back in the day, growing up in the early 2000s, bro. It's crazy, bro. And it's not just because I grew up listening to Nas. It's because Nas was way more popular, bro. The catalog, when you listen to his records, when you listen to what he's done for hip-hop, Nas done way more than Jim Jones, bro. What records does Jim Jones has that we can remember? That one record that is so popular by Jim Jones, what's it called? Rolling. Bro, I didn't even know that was his song. And the only reason why I knew that song is because he was in that fucking Need for Speed Underground game. That's the only reason I knew that game. But Nas, I would listen to Nas anywhere I'd go, bro. Not just in the fucking game, bro. You would just listen to Nas. It was just out there playing. Nas had really trending songs back in the day, bro. Like, Nas really had hits. Bro. It's just, it don't make no sense. Like, how you're gonna get hyped off a comment that a 20-year-old made. Nas engraved the hip-hop. He literally engraved the hip-hop. That's why he don't need to be around no more. He's done what he had to do. Bro can just chill, retire, and he's cool. He's set for life. Meanwhile, I still feel like Jim Jones got a lot more to prove, bro. He's not even done enough work to even be talked about in the same fucking conversation and topic as Nas. Fucking hell, I almost broke something just going off. You know what I'm saying? It don't make no fucking sense, bro. It don't make no fucking sense for him to talk about Nas and trying to say that he's better than Nas, bro. Because a 20-year-old hyped you up. If anything, you should have told that 20-year-old you should have told that 20-year-old that is incorrect. That he should chill out with those comments. There's people out here that try to say that, you know, I've seen interviews where they try to tell Caesar that she sold more records than Michael Jackson. And Caesar automatically felt like, yo, I remember, I'll never forget what she said. She was like, these sound so illegal. It feels so illegal. For you to even say that, it sounds illegal and it feels so illegal. So please, don't ever say that again. Checking the interviewer. Not even allowing the interviewer to ever say some shit like that again. When people try to say that Chris Brown is better than Michael Jackson, Chris Brown shuts the whole operation down and goes, bro, I could never even touch that man's feet. So please don't ever say some shit like that again. Like, me being better than Michael Jackson, that's something that will never even be a possibility. It's something that I could never be. That man, I look up to that man, and that man is untouchable. I could never even touch that man's feet. So that's something that will definitely never be a thing. Chris Brown says it like that. He always checks the interviews where they try to tell him that he's better than Michael Jackson. And guess what? Chris Brown is the GOAT. And he would have every right to say that he's better than Michael Jackson. If anything, it will turn into a debate, a reasonable, cool debate. But for you to sit there and try to say that you're better than Nas when I don't even remember, bro. I never even heard one record from you apart from the game that I played, which was Need for Speed. I heard that song, like, that's when I heard your song. But it's like, what? I didn't even know that was your song. But Nas got so many records, bro. So many records, bro. This guy done so much for hip-hop, bro. You want to sit there and compare yourself to Nas, bro? That's the most delusional thing I ever heard in my life, bro. It's not even valid. That don't even sound valid. I'll tell you what sounds valid. Chris Brown versus Usher. Comparing Chris Brown to Michael Jackson, that sounds valid. That sounds more valid. What the fuck is Jim Jones doing in the same topic as Nas, bro? Is that even a thing, bro? It don't even make sense. Don't even sound right. Jim Jones who? Jim Jones who, bro? Even Cameron is better than this brother. Maze is better than this brother. I got way more Maze records that I can name and think of than Jim Jones. More records than Cam bodies this guy easily, bro. Come on, bro. And no disrespect to Maze and Cameron, bro. Because they still the GOATs. They done some amazing things for hip-hop. And they definitely got way more records. They got way better records than Jim Jones, bro. So when you talk about Nas, bro, do you know who you're talking about, bro? Nas, bro. Nas, bro. Not Lil Nas. Because I think that's where he got confused. I think that's where he got it mixed up. I think he must have mentioned Lil Nas. Because that's not the Nas I'm talking about. There's only one Nas who I consider to be the GOAT. This Lil Nas guy is not even in a list of the greatest hip-hop artists of all time. It's not even close. Nas, on the other hand, bro, engraved hip-hop, bro. Nas is literally the GOAT. If anything, Nas is up there with Big Impact. I'll say it. Fuck it. He's up there with Big Impact, bro. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Nas is up there with Big Impact, bro. You can include Eminem there too. Fuck it. I don't know what you guys talking about, bro. One of the greatest of the early 2000s that actually made history, bro, is Nas, bro. Nas is up there with them lot that actually made proper records, bro. You might have had one hit record that wrote this song, but that was it, bro. What else do you have? I don't know, bro. It's so disrespectful when these artists come out of nowhere and try to disrespect the legends like they didn't do what they've done for fucking hip-hop, for the music industry, bro. That's fucking crazy. But let's hear what Aries has to say about that, bro.
Oh, goodness, what's going on, man? What's going on, man? You know, my love for Nas is so strong because
right.
You've heard when people go, they were born to do this. They'll say like that about Michael Jordan, Michael Jackson, as a comedian, Dave Chappelle. There are certain artists, Muhammad Ali, where you go, they were hand-touched by God.
Yeah, just naturals.
And when you hear Nas, it's always the right balance between lyrical ability, melody, beats, flow and rip. No, you can fight your mama, nigga. I'm telling you.
I have said in the past
What?
that Nas is one of the worst beat pickers of all time.
Shit.
After the first album.
Bro, Nas was like Drake back in the day, bro. What are we talking about, bro? See what Drake is? If not like Drake, like Kendrick Lamar, bro. You know what I'm saying? One or the other. But he was definitely one or the other. What Kendrick Lamar and Drake is back in the day is what Nas was back in the day. Who the fuck was Jones, bro? Who can you say that Jones is today? A rapper. Let's say, bro, I can't even think of one rapper from this generation that Jim Jones was like back in the day, bro. But I can say who Nas was like back in the day. Nas was basically what Drake is today. What Kendrick Lamar is today. Who the fuck was Jim Jones, bro, that you can say that you was like today? I can't say it, bro. Because bro had literally a good one cool record. And all you have to do is go to all these interviews and different interviews and say that you got way more records than this brother. That your catalog is way more powerful than this brother. You have to justify so much. Nas didn't even need to come out and say nothing because we already know, because he's done what he had to do. He don't even need to say nothing because his music speaks for itself. So when people like that come out and try to say this and such about Nas, it sounds dumb. Meanwhile, Nas don't even have to do or say anything because his music speaks for itself.
I'm talking about in terms of totality. When the gumbo comes together and it's got all the right ingredients, Nas is
except for the beats mostly.
Shit, like I said, argue with your mama, nigga. Argue with
except for the beats. What we talking about, bro? What is bro in the back talking about, bro? What do you mean the beats, bro?
Gremlin, nigga.
I feel like bro was the 10 out of 10 in a rap game. 10 out of 10, bro. Even the beats were fine. What is he talking about with the beats? The beats were fine.
For the beats.
Nah.
Always one of the best lyricists ever. First album is one of my favorite albums of all time. New York State of Mind is one of my favorite songs, period. Not just hip hop, just songs, period.
In my subjective opinion, I've hardly ever heard a Nas track where I went, I don't like that.
I've heard the beats where it's like, the beat doesn't quite work.
But then when he jumps on it, the way he rides that rhythm with that melody, nah, yo.
I think you need.
He adds that sauce to the beat. He adds that sauce to the beat, bro. That just makes the record better. Even if you don't like the beat, bro, as soon as he hops on it, like he said, bro just adds the sauce to it, bro.
Pieces to really have a great song. Listen, I check every Nas album that comes out. I listen to every song. I listen to all the lyrics. I'm a Nas fan. Me and him don't know each other. We've never met. We've never done an interview, but I have a lot of respect and appreciation for who he is. I'm an actual fan. I'm just saying that the beat selection has not always been on point. That's all I'm saying.
Vladimir Putin, take your ass back to Russia. I'm not hearing you. I'm not hearing you.
Well, what do you say when Jim Jones said that, like, he has a better catalog? They started actually breaking down the actual...
He's delusional. What catalog, bro? Bro got one song that I know of. And this should be enough for me to go, you cannot compare yourself to Nas, bro.
It's an album sold.
Here's what's good about the internet. At the end of the day, the people speak.
Right.
And the people have chosen. And I've seen so many memes and so many posts where people go, this is what Jim Jones thinks he sounds like. This is who Jim Jones thinks he is. Jim Jones wishes he could fuck with Nas. Get out of here.
Facts,
I mean, Nas dissed him back in the day. There was a video that came out.
I wouldn't know 50 Cent if he didn't have the catalog that he does. I wouldn't know Eminem if he didn't have the catalog that he does. I wouldn't know Kanye West if he didn't have the catalog and the golden records that he does. And what he done for hip hop, bro. The records, the consistency, the music that he gave us. The classics, the hits. I wouldn't know anything about these brothers if those songs weren't as impactful as they were back in the day, bro. Literally, like, bro, I promise you, the only reason why I know Rolling is because of that Need for Speed game, bro. And I played that game for a little bit. I didn't even play that game much, but that game was always on. That song was always on in that game. Like, what? What are we talking about here? Better catalog than who, bro?
Where Nas was like talking a bunch of shit about him.
Listen, Jim Jones might probably have a better catalog than Lil Nas. We can take that. Not Nas, bro. Stop disrespecting fucking Nas. Nas, the one we know. Nasir, bro. Is it Nasir Jones, his real name? Nas, bro. The one and only that we know, bro. He actually was on stage with Biggie. Knew Pac. Got dissed by Pac. Didn't want to respond to Pac. Held back on that. Even GOATs, the kings of hip hop, even the kings of hip hop knew this man. Included, he mentioned this man in the fucking songs, bro. Who the fuck was Jim Jones during that time when Nas was being mentioned and performing with the GOATs on stage, bro? Who the fuck was Jim Jones, bro? Tupac left us. Tupac was gone and didn't even get to find out who Jim Jones was. And even if there's rappers out there that came after Nas, right, like T.I., 50 Cent and everything that Pac probably didn't meet, those still came later and made the history enough for me to know and to fuck with these songs so much to be considered the GOATs and to have a way much better catalog and to be the closest thing to Big Impact, the ones that came in the early 2000s. Definitely not Jim Jones, bro. Definitely not Jim Jones, bro.
But it was more like kind of contempt, like, okay, like this guy is not the type of
I
rapper
don't want to reduce Jim Jones to a Jake Paul because I know he's better than that. But him thinking he can beat Nas is as delirious as Jake Paul thinking he could be the prime Mike Tyson.
Look, I think to a certain degree Jim Jones is trolling. Me and Jim have.
You see how much of a joke he is. It's to the point where they think he's joking, bro. Even the interviewer thinks he's joking. That's crazy.
Last I checked, he doesn't like me, so it is what it is. I will say that as someone who did not start out as a rapper, that was just like an entourage member to Cameron, in the Dipset.
That's
that
crazy,
he's
bro.
managed to hustle out a pretty good rap career.
Now
over
stop
the years.
right there. You just said it.
Yeah, he wasn't really a rapper.
Nas been that.
He's been a rapper.
Being that.
He
the
was
whole
in his
time.
mother's womb
Facts.
rhyming.
Yes, I mean even
Facts.
like the old
Fuck you
stuff, like
talking
Live at the
about, bro?
Barbecue or Back to the Grill Again. Before his album dropped, he was always the standout. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Like those songs.
Yeah.
Like, it was like, oh, this is not. So
I swear bro didn't start rapping until he was like 18 or some shit like that, bro. Bro be rapping. Nas was rapping when he was a kid, bro. And he's been rapping since. Then he got signed at 17. I swear when this man started rapping at the age that Nas got signed, that's the age that this guy was only beginning to rap. When Nas was 17, 18 years old, that's when he got his first record deal. When Jim Jones was 17 or 18 years old, ain't that when he started rapping, bro? Or some shit like that. I think Cameron said some shit like that. And he got taught how to rap. Nas just knew and he just learned how to do it because he started writing on his own. Fuck are you talking about, bro? Bro, don't ever disrespect the GOAT like that, bro. If you guys got me fucking hot, bro. Got me fucking hot, bro. Trying to disrespect the GOAT like that, bro. What? And it's not even about who started before or after, bro. Just look at that man's catalog, bro. You guys are acting like Nas didn't do what he done for hip-hop, bro. This is getting ridiculous now, bro. It's the fact that he turned into a debate, bro. Even my man Jada Kiss was sitting there like, bro didn't want to say too much because he already watch out for what he says. But bro was just sitting there embarrassed as fuck, bro. When you watch that interview where Jim Jones was just bragging about having a better catalog than Nas and shit. Even Jada Kiss was stressing in the back. He was like, I saw him. Bro was like, bro felt like he was having a long day trying to find the right words to disagree and that, but he didn't want to be too disrespectful or come across too disrespectful. And the funny thing that when he was bragging about that, he's doing an interview. He's at the show doing an interview with two GOATs that are better than him. It was Fat Joe and Jada Kiss sitting there with Jim Jones bragging about being better than us. Jada Kiss and Fat Joe are the two GOATs that you could possibly have a valid comparison to Nas, and that got a valid catalog. A valid catalog, bro. Meanwhile, the wackest rapper amongst those two is talking shit about being better than Nas. But Nas is better than all of them in a room. And bro, he's not even on top. Bro wasn't even better than the two guys that was in the room with him. Fat Joe and Jada Kiss. He's not even better than them two. What the fuck?
I'm waving automatic guns at nuns.
To this day, I've never heard a rapper rhyme backwards and it flowed and told a story.
Yeah.
Okay, talk about the
Rewind.
record, the
Song
record.
Rewind.
Yeah, I remember.
Jonah Lucas. Jonah Lucas done it differently, bro. Jonah Lucas done it differently. Who done the reverse? And then you got Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott, she done the complete reverse to the point where it sounded like she was speaking a different language. She actually rapped backwards in reverse, that she actually, like, if you read a word and you start with the end of that letter and you read that from the end of that letter to the beginning of the letter, for example, bad, instead of you saying bad, you go dab, right? That's the backwards. That's how you'd say bad in backwards. That's how Missy Elliott was rapping. It sounded like she was speaking a different language. That was fucking crazy, and I feel like it's so underrated. Nobody gives credit to Missy Elliott for rapping the way she was rapping in complete reverse. But I guess it's because you wouldn't even understand, and it just sounded like she was just speaking a different language. But we got Missy Elliott there. We got my man Joyner Lucas, who's done what Nas done. Yeah, there's rappers out there that done that. But that don't still mean that they better than Nas though. Nas is still the fucking GOAT. He's up there with Big and Pac. I'll say it again, bro. This man Jim Jones is not even close. Nowhere near, bro. Stop disrespecting the GOAT, bro.
It's just, that's talent beyond talent. That's special.
Nas
You
is
know
special.
how hard it is to rhyme forward? Okay.
Yeah.
He rhymed backward. Fuck out of here, man.
Would you say that Nas is a better rapper than Jay-Z?
Oh, now that's debatable. See, now that's a valid debate. Now we talking. Now we can have valid points, valid opinions. You know what I'm saying? We don't have to get too angry. We can have a valid civil debate. Yeah? Is Nas better than Jay-Z? Now we can take a deep breath, calm down, and actually get into a valid, civilized debate. Now this is what you call a debate. It's a respectful debate. Is Kendrick better than Kendrick Lamar? That's respectful. That's a civilized debate that we can have. Now Jim Jones better than Nas? That shouldn't, bro. That's not even a fucking debate, bro. That's just. I'm not gonna listen to you, bro. I'm gonna walk away. I'm gonna think you're trolling. Trolls get ignored, if anything. You're trolling, bro. Brothers being a troll. It's like me walking down the street and I see just someone just chatting shit, right? And it's not even making sense. It's trying to troll. It's trying to waste my time, right? See someone trying to waste my time, not making sense, like just trying to waste my time. I'm gonna ignore that person. Like literally just ignore that person, bro. Because that person clearly on drugs, like something is not okay in the head, like, you know what I mean? That's how I'm gonna look at you if you try to say some dumb shit like Jim Jones is better than us. That's how I'm gonna look at you. I'm gonna think that you clearly, there's something wrong in your head, like you need to just, you know what I mean, go get a rehab. Bro probably, don't took too many drugs. You know what I mean? He hit his head somewhere, and now his head is fucked up. He's just talking shit, he's talking nonsense. I don't understand what he's talking. He sounds like a crackhead. You know what I mean? You can't have a full conversation with a crackhead anyway, I guess. You know what I'm saying? It just sounds like a weirdo. Like, it's like a weirdo, like that I'm not gonna even give my time and attention to. That's what it sounds like when you try to talk about Nas versus Jim Jones being better than Nas. Now when you talk about Jay-Z being better than Nas and who's the best MC, now that's a valid debate. Now we can talk. Bro is talking common sense. That's gonna get my attention. Now we can, stop to talk about why is this brother better than that brother? Why is that brother better than this brother? You feel me? It's valid. They both got, like, if Nas and Jay-Z done a versus, that would have been valid. That would have been valid. That would have been competitive. That would have been so dope. That would have been competitive and dope as fuck. And now, if Nas and Jay-Z done a versus, and I don't know what happened to that show versus, man. I haven't heard or seen that show in a minute.
And I see now on social media, and this, I don't know why this is so popular. This is why I hate social media. It's a blessing and a curse, because everybody has a voice. It has become popular to disrespect incredible motherfuckers. The way,
Right.
Jordan had no left, Jordan's overrated, Michael Jordan played against janitors and bums. People are shitting on Jay-Z. He's overrated, he was never that great. What? What? The fact that he goes, I'm not a businessman. I'm a businessman, and it's true. Come on, dude. Hove is one of the greatest. One of the greatest. Now, I will admit, he got ethered during ether.
Yeah, he did.
But,
bro got 8.
shit. To me, listen, if Patrice O'Neal was alive, I still think Dave Chappelle would be the top dog. But Patrice is in that nigga's rearview mirror. So, to answer your question, I think in terms of obvious success, business savvy, record sales, Jay's the dude.
Yeah.
But Nas is in that nigga's rearview, man.
As a body of work, I like Jay's body of work more than Nas's. I will say that I like Illmatic.
That's valid, man. That's respectful, bro. Kind of like how they try to compare Jay-Z to Lil Wayne. That's respectful, bro. That's reasonable. You know what I'm saying? It's a matter of opinions. You know, it's a debate to have. They done the same with Biggie and Ice Cube. You know what I mean? That's valid, bro. That's respectful. They got a nice body of work. They got a proper catalog. You have to have a good body of work and a good catalog, a valid catalog, for you to even be talked about in these debates and to be compared to one another, to have a valid comparison and debate, bro. You feel me? You gotta have records, bro, that actually made history, bro, that actually got us, you know, playing and had us talking about it, had us on lock, on chokehold. You gotta have records like that, bro, to be comparing yourself to these legends. You feel me? Like Jay-Z and Lil Wayne, that's a valid comparison, bro. Everyone gonna have their own opinion, but these man got records. They got a nice body of work. You know what I'm saying? They could do a verses. It would have been a valid verses to have.
I meant to say Illmatic previously, by the way. I said it was written. I said after Illmatic is what I actually meant. After Illmatic, I didn't like the beat selection. But I like Illmatic better than any Jay-Z album. Single album. Like, I'll take Illmatic over Reasonable Doubt.
I just don't think you could go wrong with either one.
No, but if you gotta pick, I'm saying if you gotta pick, I like overall Jay-Z's body of work. I like Jay-Z as a rapper better than Nas, but I think Nas's first album was better than Jay-Z's ever come up with.
Yeah.
That's what I think. Now, Ether versus, what was the song that Jay originally came out with, the diss Nas, with the Doors sample, Takeover. Yeah. Like, I think Ether is a stronger song than Takeover, and then, when we did the Super Ugly freestyle, I was like, whatever. So, I think Nas won that battle overall, but...
Yeah.
And look, like, Nas's business acumen is crazy also. Like, all the investments, like Coinbase.
Right.
He's trying to start a casino in Queens, I think, while Jay-Z's trying to start one, I think, in Times Square. So, they're both worth probably hundreds of millions of dollars at this point, right? But overall, I'll take Jay over Nas.
Listen,
I think Jay has better beat selection.
I can't be mad at you for that choice.
Answer that question. Who picks better beats, Jay-Z or Nas?
But you can't ask me that because I don't have a problem.
That's a stupid fucking question, bro. Man's looking at beats, bro.
With Nas's beats.
Okay.
I don't.
What the fuck I care about beats, bro? I care about the music, bro. Once these man touch these beats, bro, even if he's a shit beat, bro, the song will literally turn gold, bro. The song will literally turn gold, bro. Because of the vocals that they laid on it, the lyrics, the flow, the melody, everything, bro. That will make the beat more valuable, fam. What the fuck you looking at beats for? Bro, sounds like he only listens to beats, don't even pay attention to the lyrics. What the fuck?
All right.
What, you want me to have a problem where I don't have one?
Okay, fair enough.
What the fuck I care about beats, bro? Bro. I feel like bro focuses on the wrong things. Anyway, bro.